Welcome back to Morgan's video blog, Morgan's online blog in video format. Today, I'm here to share with you Booktube, the world of YouTube book discussions. Now, the Booktuber world is right next door to the authortuber world, and it's full of people talking about their to-read lists, what they're actually reading, and building their own community, just like the authortube community is talking about writing tips and their writing progress or lack thereof, and apparently streaming virtual write-ins. Both are full of people passionate about books and wanting to talk about it on YouTube and connect. At the titular panel at WorldCon, Stevie Sablecott Finnegan, Claire Rousseau, Thomas Wagner of SFF 180, Lene Sternfelt of Robot Maria 133, and Brianne Reeves of Bree Reads Books shared with us their experiences being booktubers. So why YouTube? Everyone had their own path and reasons that led them to YouTube. For Claire, 5 years ago, her partner started a Geeking Out gaming channel, and after seeing how it went and going to a convention, she got excited and she wanted to join in, but with her own hobbies, and hence her Booktube channel was born. For Lene, she started off as a blogger, and she'd seen the English language booktubers, but was worried there wasn't a large enough audience in her native tongue and wasn't comfortable speaking her English. And then she found the other European vloggers and said, I'm gonna do it anyway. Bree had graduated from college and was underemployed, so she got back to her love of books for enjoyment instead of class, found the community, and wanted to join the conversation. And Thomas, he'd been doing traditional book reviews at www.sfreviews.net since 2001. He'd seen his gamer friends start up game vlogs and wanted to try that sort of thing, without even knowing that the community was there. And he's found that reviews are a lot more personal when your face is attached to the words. So, common booktube videos. These booktubers wanted to talk about books on YouTube, but what sort of videos are out there? Is it just like a book report you do at school? Nope, they're having a lot more fun than that. One of the most popular ones are book hauls, and this is simply a stack of the new books you've gotten since last time you checked in. Thomas called his a mailbag because he didn't know about the community and their standards. Bree and Lene both love these. Well, Bree hates recording them, but she loves watching them. TBR videos. This is your to be read pile where you talk about what you're actually planning on reading in the next week or month. Claire loves these. Next up are wrap-up videos, and these are your end of the week or month posts where you actually talk about which books you finished, which books you didn't get to, and what you thought about them. Some people do them for a time frame, and some people just do them for every book. Thomas, with his traditional book reviews, does one per book. And of course, there are going to be book discussions, talking and analyzing books. And these come in many forms. One can simply be talking about a particular book. Another popular one is comparing a book to a movie. Sometimes the book isn't always better. I'm not sure if they're going to lynch me now, but and finally, there's also comparing and contrasting different books among a similar theme. And there are people putting challenges out there, and one of the most popular ones is Top 5 Wednesday, where they give you a theme and you share the top 5 books you like with that theme. So, if you're interested in getting started on Booktube and you're hesitant, don't worry. You don't need much to get started, and many booktubers started off worrying and wondering why anyone would care what they had to say about books. The booktuber community is just fans like you out there wanting to connect with other fans. they're just like you, and there's no reason you can't get started today, especially if you have a smartphone, a YouTube account, and the internet. That's all you need to get started, and that's how I started with this video blog. Secondly, crappy videos are fine. It's about the discussion and the talk with the people and building the community. But if you are trying to get a following, tip 3, try to have a consistent schedule at least once a month with these are the books I've read and this is what I'm hoping to read next. Remember that audio is more important than video. As long as they can hear you, that's really what it's about. When you do decide to start upgrading your equipment, start off with a better microphone. I have a blue snowball microphone with a pop filter. Next up, you might want to invest in a better camera. I personally have a USB Logitech camera that just plugs in. I have a USB hub because I have so many USB devices plugged in. You might want to get and invest in better lighting. I have umbrella lights. Some people have the circular lights that go around their camera. Look into it and see what works best for you and where you normally film. And speaking of, the final thing you can do to make better videos is invest in video editing. I'm not there yet. Maybe I will. They suggested Vegas Pro. You don't need a new version. We'll see. I might try out video editing. If you have an iPhone or an Apple device, it comes with a pretty decent one. I don't, so yeah. And once you've upgraded this stuff, you might be starting to look at monetization. We do it for love, but it's nice to get paid, especially if we're putting a lot of work in. Work has value and it's good to be reimbursed. If you get big enough, as I've mentioned before on other videos, if you get 4,000 view hours and 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, they will let you monetize and put subscribers and stuff in there. Another way to start getting money is Patreon. But you do have to have stuff for people at different tier levels, which often means more work. So be sure you're able to commit before you start a Patreon, which is kind of my hesitation. If you would like to support me through a Patreon, let me know in the comments below. I did spend money on equipment and do spend money annually on the domain name, etc. Anyway, do remember that most monetized channels basically pay for a cup of coffee and might on a good month start to reimburse the booktuber for all the money they've invested in equipment. And as a warning for those of you outside the States, in some countries it is illegal to accept donations or patronage without giving the person something physical in return. So I don't know if a business card counts, maybe a magnet, who knows. Look into the law in your country. I don't know where you're sitting, so I'm not gonna look up all the laws. Sorry, that's on you. So, joining the Booktube community. Now that you know what it is and that it's out there. Most of these tips are gonna sound familiar, especially if you've seen any of my other videos on joining online communities. Step 1, subscribe to other booktubers. Step 2, comment on other booktubers and comment on what they're discussing. If you just post, great post with a link back to your own, especially I think on YouTube, your face is a link back to your channel. People are gonna know that you're just looking for people to find an audience and that you're not actually paying attention. Maybe you just opened it, commented without even watching. And another thing, you might think a comment like, "You're pretty," or "cool shirt," or whatever is something that somebody wants to hear. Instead, the booktuber is gonna think you just looked at the picture and you weren't paying attention to what they said. Comment on topic and you'll go a lot further for building your community. Another tip for joining the booktuber community is to watch till the end. Many booktubers often have sort of bonusy material or user interaction stuff at the end, like booktuber challenges or requests to share your links, invitations below, like your channel or a similar themed video, etc. And as always, do not be intimidated by slow traction. It takes a while to become an overnight success. So, booktubers to watch. If Booktube sounds up your alley or you're already a fan, here are some of the people that the panelists suggested. Rachel from Kalanadi, Kalandi. I'm putting all these links below. I'll stop spelling. Jean of Bookish Thoughts, and the Book Finch with an F. And of course, they didn't do it themselves, but I'll do it for them. Let's plug our panelists. Sable Cott, Claire Rousseau, SF180, Robot Maria 133, and Brie Reads Books. Have you run into Booktube before? Let me know. Are you a booktuber yourself? If so, please tell us how you got started and share your link below. And as always, thank you for tuning in. I'll be back again next week with more panel notes and probably some ramblings on Pitch Wars because it's that time of year again. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.